Thanks for joining us again for another episode. Matty's also has decided again for this episode that he'll beg off, and unfortunately he watched this particular film when we watched the original the other day. So tonight's film is The Strangers Prey at Night.
It's Matty's fault.
Yeah, so Matty has decided not to turn up on this one. He did give his thoughts last episode though, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah,
we asked him what he thought.
He wasn't happy.
Hated it. Yeah,
Still doesn't make up for it.
Doesn't make up for it. This is a stitch up, but I'm not happy. But before we get to that, just a quick bit of news. And I don't know if anyone's. I don't think anyone in this room was interested in this film whatsoever.
Good start.
But, Dark Phoenix is going to lose Fox Studios $100+ million.
I've heard bad things. Yep.
And the director, he's done the right thing, and he's fallen on his sword and said it's his fault. You wrote it and directed it. Of course it's your fucking fault.
Did you read the quote though?
Yeah.
He said,
I didn't tell me.
He said, yeah, it failed to connect with the audiences that saw it. No, he said it failed to connect with the audiences that didn't see it, and then said it also failed to connect with the audiences that saw it.
Really?
And that's my fault.
Yeah, of course it's your fault.
Yeah.
You wrote the stupid thing.
But I also...
At least he didn't Josh Trank it though.
I also think that I feel like he was pushed to mess around with it too, like extensive reshoots and...
Well, they said the ending was exactly the same as one of the Marvel films.
Yeah.
And that's why they went back.
Right.
Mate, when you haven't... Look, all the tinkering in the world's only going to make it worse, to me. Yeah, okay, it's going to be the same as a Marvel film. Okay. So,
Maybe find a good script and make a good movie before you start it though. As in, like, know that you've got something to work with. If you've got that problem, that wouldn't have been new. Unless it's what? Was it the end of Endgame that they worried about covering?
No, it wasn't the Endgame, but it was one of the newer Marvels. It might have been...
Like Spider-Man, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. Like in the last couple of years. So, to me...
Or maybe Marvel. Maybe Captain Marvel. That would be the one that make the most sense.
I can't remember which one.
I think you've already got a product that you think is going to be shit. So you're going to reshoot it. Like, once you've got like people coming out, like I remember we were talking about it, and there was that quote that where a bloke had watched the preview screening and described it as an embarrassment to everyone involved. And I'm like, once you got pressed like that, you've just got to lay the egg, even if it's rotten. You don't pump any more fucking money into this thing. It's just get what you're going to get.
And let's be honest,
cut
the
your
X-Men
losses.
series has been slowly declining for the last few years. Apocalypse was supposedly pretty poor.
Days of Future Past was good.
Yeah, that was good.
Apocalypse
That was probably the last good one.
They've had a couple of missteps even before that with things like X-Men Origin Wolverine, things like that. They had some shit films in there.
Well, they were dog shit, those ones.
Something like Logan is kind of like, yeah, it's part of the X-Men universe, but it was a standalone.
It was a departure, sort of. Yeah.
Departure, and it was fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
But this movie is 100% correct, Jared. You're 100 in the hole, and people are saying to you, this is an embarrassment of filmmaking. Let's pour another 50 into it? Does that seem like the smart
I don't know. How do you do a superhero movie that poorly these days? I don't know. Like, for it to be embarrassing, like, it must be really bad.
Yeah.
Especially with a story you've already fucked up on screen.
And they say that the Dark Phoenix through line in the comics is one of the...
It's supposed to be one of the best stories out of all of them. It's like revered. It's like, the holy grail of comic shit. And then they stomped on it already with the Famke Janssen one. And that was X3, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The end of that. Oh, and everyone just blew up about that. And they're like, let's have another crack at it and fuck it again.
This bloke's been involved in... he was involved in writing X3.
Oh.
X-Men Apocalypse. So he has his fingertips in the shit ones.
And they let him be in charge.
The whole bloody enchilada.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
These guys should go and work for DC.
Yeah.
They're clearly geniuses.
Yeah. Imagine that when you're trying to get another gig. Oh, I worked on the X-Men movies. Oh shit, that's a tick. Which ones? X3.
X3, Apocalypse, and Dark Phoenix. Get out.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah,
Thanks for coming.
We'll call you.
We've got your details.
You know what though? Look at the last, even this week, Men in Black International. It is. They are coming in way under expectations. No one wants this stuff. Both of these films, to me, are filmmaking based on property, and that's it. It's got nothing to do with quality. It's got nothing to do with we've got a great story. The Terminator looks like that. Rambo 5 doesn't.
No, Rambo 5's an exception.
Have you guys talked about that yet?
Rambo.
I love that he says, this is Last Blood. He said, but if it does well, I'll come back. Seriously, Sly?
71!
He's more than that now, isn't he? I think he's 74.
74?
Yeah, he's up
Holy
there.
Shit.
He looks.
I told ya.
That movie looks incredible. All over
I
it.
noticed that he's not doing any hand-to-hand work, though.
A lot less.
Which is a good
A
idea.
lot more distance skills, I think. Yeah.
No, Rambo 5 looks fresh. Whereas Dark Phoenix and Men in Black International just look like shit from the minute you saw anything of them.
The only thing wrong with the new Rambo movie is Arnie already made it. It's called The Last Stand. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah,
the border
yeah.
sheriff? Yeah. It's basically this movie by the looks of things, just with less violence. But
Oh, mate.
on their opening night, I'm going to the cinema. We should do it as a watch party.
Yeah. We'll go
Instant
and check it out.
podcast.
Oh, mate. I will be fucking pissing and bumming 5 minutes after it's over. But I'll be excited in the lead.
Oh, mate.
I gotta say, I've loved to see the turnaround from you from the minute we saw the Instagram. Oh, she's coming together beautifully. I saw a glint in your eye, and now that the trailer's here.
I believe in one of the episodes we've got still in the pipe, I said, I told you. I told you it's going to be a tip.
I'm excited.
No, I am excited, but, mate...
It could be a turd, but I'm still
to me,
pumped.
Fox have only got themselves to blame with X-Men. You just don't pour any more money. It's fucking simple commerce, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're in big trouble. We're in big financial trouble.
Get out.
Just get it out.
Yeah.
Cut back on the, perhaps cut back on the marketing money and just...
I guarantee they're on the phone to Marvel, like, so can you guys cut us a bigger check for this X-Men property, please? If you want them over. And how about Fantastic Four? You interested? Fan Four stick? Sound good? Josh doesn't want it anymore.
That is unbelievable that's what they got to work with, and this is where they've led it to. And like,
That's pretty
imagine if this had come out before the Fox and Disney deal. Disney would have just been saying, what's our offer? Yeah, knock $1 billion off. It's not worth that anymore.
Now, is Men in Black also a Fox?
I think it's Universal, isn't it?
No.
I think it's Universal.
It looks tragic.
Mate,
Not that anyone's going to want that for a while.
the trailer that I saw, it looked really
looks
poor.
Trash. I feel sorry for Hemsworth. I love the bloke.
Mate, he's just cashing them
The
checks.
bloke is a Aussie legend.
Did you see the video
But
of
he needs to
Thor playing Hurt by Johnny Cash, like Johnny Cash cover of Hurt? Thor's playing
It's
like a
funny.
guitar as Fat Thor. It's just a little video that came out on YouTube. Look that up, Adzi. It's good. I hurt myself today. So,
I'm a Hemsworth fan.
yeah.
This stuff is not good for him.
No.
He needs to be a bit shrewd.
But even
But he's probably got 10 mil for that.
Tessa Thompson, like,
Yeah,
also a big
she's
fan of
good for
her.
that shit too.
They're both slumming it. Just like I said, cashing them checks. Tommy Lee Jones and everything. Always. All Liam Neeson does is slum it, mate. These days, if you watch some of the, he's made 50 different iterations of Taken now. Like every movie he makes.
It for 15 years.
Oh, everything he makes now is just a variation on Taken.
Yeah, but I find it very hard to... I could not believe that it was 100+ mil lost. I was like, the fucking movie only came out last week.
Well, I think it's going to be out of cinemas soon. Like, no one's going.
Yeah, the sessions are very quickly drying up.
Are
at
they?
Points, I think.
Yeah.
I think they might have cut the session numbers during the week.
Good
I don't know if they're allowed to do
Isn't
that. with a
Endgame still
cinema.
going?
Yeah, you can still get 1 or 2 sessions a day. of Endgame.
They came out like a month and a half ago.
Oh, man.
Alright, well, let's take a break. Here's the trailer for 2018's The Strangers, Pray at Night.
Boo.
911, what's the emergency?
Hello, can anyone hear me?
Why are you doing this to us?
Strangers, rated R, theaters March 9th.
The Strangers, Pray at Night from 2018, directed by Jonas Roberts, who directed 47 Metres Down, which we all thought was pretty good.
Yep.
It's way better than this.
It's produced by Wayne Mark Godfrey, who produced The Foreigner, James Harris and Robert Jones, Ryan Kavanagh and Mark Lane. Now, there are also 12 exec producers, 6 associate producers, a co-producer and a line producer.
Did you see how many fucking studios were involved? Yeah, start the credits, and there's like 10 different studios that come up before the credits start.
It's written by Brian Bertino and Ben Katai. Stars Christina Hendricks as Cindy, Martin Henderson as Mike, Bailey Madison as Kinsey, and Lewis Pullman as Luke. I couldn't find a budget for this. I can only assume it's pretty low.
They just had to buy a couple of containers, and that's it. A couple of demountables.
And the box office was $24 million in the US.
Shame, 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 America.
The trivia. The trivia says the director admitted that he didn't like slasher films or home invasion films.
No, but
why the fuck did you make the movie then?
all this is a slasher, home invasion.
I don't understand.
I reckon this is one of these ones where he had like a love job on the side, and they said, "Oh, if you make this horror movie, we'll do the other job for you. Your passion project.
Yeah, all right.
I'll punch his out." And then he clearly didn't try at all.
Okay, Gibbo, thoughts?
This movie's a fucking joke. Dead set. Absolutely nothing interesting happens in this movie. The whole plot's nonsense. It's not scary. It's not funny. It's not anything. I was super angry when I finished watching it. I'm very angry with Matthew for making it happen, purely by his own ineptness that he can't read a movie title. Next time I see him, I'm going to kick him in the shins, because honestly, this movie is just a waste of everyone's time. It's shit. Half a star.
Half a star?
Because it exists. No, it's shit. It really is shit.
Jared?
Yeah, even as a slasher fan...
Counterpoint?
Even as a slasher fan, I can't argue with much of what you said. It's a real disappointment, this one. And I didn't love the first one, but I enjoyed it.
I wish I watched it instead of this.
Because this was just awful. Like the character choices, the choices that they're making, just the whole, I don't know, the rationale of the strangers doesn't even hold up in this one. It's just everything about it's frustrating. What they're doing is frustrating. That the characters can't get away is frustrating. That we don't get to see the strangers knocked over for a while is frustrating. Like everything about it was such an unsatisfying cinema watching experience. Not even cinema, sorry, just movie watching in general.
It's on Netflix.
I'm glad it was free. If I had to pay for this,
I purchased this movie, Adam, sight unseen, because
you're a prick of a bloke.
I wanted to check it out. By the time I checked it out, I think it dropped on Netflix a week later anyway.
How much did you pay for the DVD,
I was
Jared?
Filthy. It was at a 20% off sale. I think I might have got it for like.
Did you buy a Blu-ray, Jared?
Blu-ray, $18.
You're fucked.
Blu-ray.
Yeah.
I could tell on the look on his face. He had this sadness behind his eyes, and I could tell it wasn't just a DVD.
He looked like, just distraught.
Mate, I've got cupboardfuls of sadness.
Not on this level, mate. Honestly, this is. I'd rather watch
What did
Pieces
you give it
again.
out of 5?
Look, there was a couple of flourishes of stylish work. And I'm going to give it probably a 1.5.
Oh,
Alright.
fine.
It's a real poor excuse for a horror film for me. What I liked about the first film is removed. The slow burn, the tension, the little look in the background and you see someone there.
They try that. It never works.
And the first film did that alright. This one just decides it's time to become a slasher film. And it actually opens with probably its strongest sequence, which is in the, again, knocking on the door and then, someone's killed.
Yeah,
and then,
the subtle stuff.
yeah. But then they just go right away from it. And it's a slog. It's a slog because, as you say, nothing is happening. There's no payoff to anything. The deaths are violent where people just stand there and get killed.
Yeah.
Like, if you're in the midst of possible death, you are going to fight with everything you've got. But they just stand there and let them stab them a few times.
Yeah, the one with the lady in the toilet.
It's just ridiculous. And then, we're going to have another long conversation about running a 3-minute
3-minute Ks, mate.
I'll take a 3.5-minute K if you got it in you.
Yeah.
But some of the decisions they make are just ludicrous.
Just
They're just nonsense. Even by slasher film standards, they're bad.
Yep.
1 out of 5.
Better.
Okay. Likes, they'll be thin on the ground. Soundtrack of 80 songs. That's always
Yeah, soundtrack was good.
Soundtrack's solid.
Okay, it's fine, but it seems like they're playing the songs in the thing for no reason.
Yeah, there doesn't
So
seem to
red
be a
lights. My bad. We'll get to this later.
It was just to try. It was to try and be a bit of that sort of Tarantino. Oh, haven't heard this song in a while, and look at the scene they're playing it over. That's really cool.
But it's not. It doesn't
Didn't
sound like
work
it's a soundtrack. It sounds like the Killers are playing it in the movie. Like
Yeah.
when I turns the radio on in the car and stuff.
Yeah, didn't work out from that perspective, but I did like
Some of the songs were
the
cool.
songs
Yeah,
in there, yeah.
No, I'll give you that. I like that Christina Hendricks dies early because she's the kind of billable big star of the movie when you put her up against the other plebs.
Well, what about Martin Henderson?
Yeah, how dare you? Marty Henderson, where have you been, son?
I would just say that Hendricks has fallen a long way from Mad Men. Let's put it that way.
Possibly. So you're saying that Martin Henderson's fallen a long way from Echo Beach?
Echo Point, thank you very much.
Echo Point. My apologies.
I recognise the guy. He's not Christina Hendricks. I think she's first billed for a reason, top billing.
Yeah, and I'm with you.
It's a bit of missing because you think, oh, she won't die here, and then she does. I'm like, okay, cool. You tried something there at least.
Failed, but
Yeah.
you tried it.
Not good.
The opening sequence for me was the bit that I liked the most.
Yeah.
Knock on the door, the woman gets
The
up.
woman presumably dies off screen.
Yeah.
The man, lays down. The woman
And you
lays
see the
down in
hand
bed.
just touch the dog's head, then get down into bed, and as she lays down, you see the Cupid mask. I thought that was really
good
cool.
sequence.
It was
Yeah.
nicely handled,
Yeah.
Yep.
and it was done with a bit of flair and style and subtlety.
It was close-ish. The mask thing is starting to get a bit played out too, though.
Yeah.
Like, how many times can a baby mask be scary in movies?
Yeah.
Like, everyone's doing it now. It's one of those things like, oh, this is really cool, and then everyone does it, and it's not cool anymore.
Yeah.
It's like owning a Mustang now. It's like, you might as well just have a Toyota Camry. They're not cool anymore because Dad just said everyone's got one.
What about a Kia Sorento?
Yeah, not that different. Get a Kia Stinger, you're probably one up on a Mustang these days.
The sequence in the pipe.
Yeah, that's the one I
Hiding
had.
the pipe, and she says, "Leave us alone," and then she just peers out of the darkness behind her and says, "But we've only just begun."
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
That was cool.
good.
That
jump
was
scare.
the best scare in the whole movie,
Yeah, yeah.
and it was pretty much the only one.
Yeah.
So I'm on
The
board
only
with
one
that.
that got you. Plenty of question marks on how you didn't know there was someone breathing right next to you.
Well, the only thing I can say
Especially
is,
breathing in a mask because you're gonna be
yeah,
able to.
the Darth Vader effect. The only thing I can say is that you nearly explained the way because the tube was a T shape.
Yeah.
And the headlights were coming down the bottom of the T, if you think of it that way, and focusing on her. So she's looking at headlights. Someone could come in the side there and actually be pretty darked out. So I gave that one that. And it's the only really clever thing they did in the whole movie.
Yeah. The only other thing that I chalked up as a light is that in this one, we had some problems in the original. That why didn't they just hole up in a bedroom? They had a shotgun and make them come to you,
Yeah.
right? This one doesn't allow it. They go into one of the cabins and then they drive the car through the cabin. And so at least they were sort of covering off on the fact that you don't have time to just hole yourself up somewhere. They're going to try and get to you using the vehicle.
Had some other options. But
Yeah, there are other options, of course, but at the very least, they smoked them out
Yeah.
straight away. So I gave that a like.
well, actually,
That sequence with the truck, I actually didn't mind that because you think, oh, we've got a little bit of a breather here, and there's no warning of the truck. Like that sort of just comes through as well. Not scary, but it's at least unexpected. Yeah.
I didn't see that coming.
I actually liked that it was in the trailer park. Even though I had big question marks on where you're going to find one that's absolutely, completely empty at any time of the year.
And full of enough mist.
Exactly, but it's and they screwed it up. They screwed up the setting, but
I thought they
again,
must have gone to Silent Hill.
Yeah, well, it was like that.
it felt like a good place to do it again. That you had some scope to work with. Ended up being a big flop because of some of the choices that they made, but. When they first got there, I was like, okay, well, this is going to be a little bit interesting. It's going to be similar to the first one, but we got places to go and people are going to get split off into different cabins. And it ended up, not working out. But I did appreciate that at the start. I was like, okay, well, they've put some effort into trying to up the stakes a little bit, ramp things up a little bit.
Yeah, I appreciated it.
I had down as well, visually, the scene at the pool, when all the lights come on in the pool.
Yeah.
It was very different to the rest of the movie because it's all dark and fog and that sort of shit. I thought that actually looked pretty nice and a bit different.
Yeah, that was well.
And it had the music over and stuff. And then you had the slow swimming of him on his back, and you think, oh, this is a die scene. Why is he taking so long?
Yeah.
And then she inexplicably has found him and
Yeah.
bails him out, sort of thing. But that sequence actually looked nice with all the different colours and neons and stuff.
Now, I
so-
must admit, I did have to laugh where he's standing by the pool and the girl just comes charging out of the darkness with the knife and he just turns around with the
Hits her with a golf club.
Whack.
I thought that was going to be his sister, and someone had put the mask on her and taped the mouth shut or something.
Yeah.
That seemed like a missed opportunity for that. But
Yeah, I know, but this movie's not that smart.
no, not close. As soon as it did happen, I'm like, yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a dead chick now.
I was thrilled to hear Mental as Anything get around.
That was Martin Henderson's idea.
I think so.
There's this band in Australia called Metal as Anything.
They were pretty good.
That was in the 80s.
The only other thing I had, there was I don't know if it was smart enough to be this deliberate, but at one point the brother and sister were talking about how she always wanted to play baseball with him when she was little and stuff like that, and then at the end when she gets in the back of the truck and old mate climbs in and she picks up the baseball bat, it reminded me of in Signs, the swing away Merrill thing.
Swing away, yeah.
Yeah, it's like this whole like they sort of set it up earlier and then it comes back.
Yeah.
That's another, like, this movie didn't do that many times, but I'd give them credit for that as well. It's actually at least set up.
Yeah, I would probably go with you on that. That was at the very least they paid that off.
Yeah.
They fucking didn't pay anything else off. I was too busy wondering about what else was going on. But
Yeah.
any other likes?
No.
I had one. I hated the cop scene. The scene where the cop turned up. I hated it.
Yeah.
But a gun finally fucking worked in those movies.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, thank God. Like, at that point, I was so damn frustrated with what was going on. When the gun actually worked and was used, I was just like, thank fucking God.
And she gave her the double tap too.
Yeah.
Followed the rules. You don't leave them live. And she just pumped her in the face with that second one.
Yeah.
But what you also do is you then reload.
Yes. And
No, not in these movies.
no.
Okay, dislikes. Why are we still trotting out the true events angle?
That.
I don't know.
You knew it was the first movie was tenuous at best.
Yep.
This has got nothing to do with any of that.
So what was it based? The first one was based on basically a guy went, like one of the guys that wrote it. Someone went to his house and it was weird. Is that all it went to?
no,
Oh, they robbed the
Is
neighbours.
someone there? He said no, and then it turned out people had been robbed in the neighbourhood. If you weren't home,
They were coming in. Yeah.
it has
But that's not a home invasion
it's a
thing.
tenuous link to the home invasion that they produced in the film. But this just scrub that shit.
Yeah. It's akin to the at the end of the movie when they say, this person went on to do this and this and this.
Yeah.
Like, this is not real. We know this isn't real. Just pull your head in.
Yeah, it's like, so we get that you've inverted it and, you are home. So
Yeah.
you're the target, which was a kind of an interesting way to go, but drop the based on true events because none of it was. Nothing in this movie was based on true
Like I
events.
said, it got off on the wrong foot straight away because the 10 studio signs came up and then the thing comes up and it goes based on true events and I was already out. I was like, fuck, this is so... Especially when you know it's a sequel,
Yeah.
you know it's not based on anything real. It's just a joke.
Look, this movie was 85 minutes and it was fucking hella boring. I thought it was like 2 hours long.
That's what I thought too when I said before. I thought it was like an hour 50 and
And
it's
I
not.
checked the timer at the end. 85 minutes? Really?
So they're stuck in a time warp?
Yeah, I might have.
Yeah.
Probably watched it twice.
And 60 of those minutes are just people running around the trailer park for no reason.
Even when they're on the stalk, it's just boring.
Showing the face of the girl to start with,
So,
I thought that was a mistake.
Yeah, well, it's like it's
seems to-
dimly lit, but you can still see her.
Yeah, it's just the first one. The fact that they went with this decision of we're not going to give you any of their motivations, and that's going to make it scary. But by the same token, we didn't see any of them. We couldn't put any identity to any
Or
of them.
personality.
Personality
Yeah.
or anything like that.
Well, these are all clearly different
Straight off
characters.
the bat, they show the first girl just for a bit of a callback to the first movie. Is Tamara home? It's like, couldn't you have found another way to just avoid that and not show the face? Because as soon as you did that, a little bit of that mystery and that kind of element of it was just gone straight away.
to me, you didn't need to knock at the door. Because you'd already set the scene with the death of the old couple in their cabin.
Yeah.
That this was them.
And hadn't you already shown that the truck was around when
Yes.
the family
They drove
arrived?
past it at one point.
Yeah.
So don't even have that. You know where they are. It just, I didn't like
Especially when
that.
they're the only people there.
Yep. Very frustrating.
Especially when she
Very
comes back
annoying.
multiple times for no reason, just to walk away again.
I don't know
Yeah,
about
it
you,
was-
but my response is, fuck off! She's not here!
Or you pull a gun out and shoot her in the face right there. You've annoyed me twice. That's it. You don't get a third chance.
Yeah, look. I'm on a one-strike policy.
The dynamic between the family is a bit ordinary.
Good lord!
How many
John
times can
was-
we do this, like, broken family
Oh, you're
thing?
taking me away from my friends.
Yeah. You don't have friends. Look at your shirt. You're too angry with the world to have actual friends. You've just got other people you sit around and be sad with.
I mean, the daughter is just awful.
She's insufferable.
Awful.
Yeah.
I would have thrown her bags out of the car after we left the diner.
Yeah.
Said, make your own way home.
How old is she supposed to be, we think?
She's meant to be
16?
17, I think.
Yeah.
She's smoking like a little train too.
Yeah.
I did like.
Although the brother makes a bit of a joke at her expense, because you're actually supposed to inhale that.
Yeah, she's clearly a bar.
There was a couple of parts between them that I thought this is starting to build, and then it would all just they do something that you know the relationship between them was just.
But also, what was that all for? Why couldn't they have just been a family that gets on okay, who's travelling up there to see their grandparents?
Yeah.
Why do they have to be insufferable flogs?
Because it's a horror slasher movie.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But these horror films have gone to that character trait.
Every time.
Seems to need to be the one to have, but there was no reason for her to be a bitch. Like, it didn't come back at the end. It didn't sort of. There wasn't a reason why perhaps the dynamic between mum and dad, mum and her, had been frayed, and then she saves mum at the end.
No.
Like, isn't that what you would do? The dynamic between her and her mum was really.
We just explained this, mate. It's not that smart. This movie is just
It's like
lazy.
You don't even bother.
It also, in those first scenes when they're driving into the park in the van, I couldn't get over how cheap it looked.
Yeah.
It looked like someone had just filmed it on a handy cam. Like, it looked like it was something from like a security camera on a house across the road. It looked that poor. Like, you got to at least come up with something better than that at this point. Like,
And you certainly weren't paying big money for your actors.
No, exactly. But I've seen better looking video games than some of those sequences. It just looks really patchy. The acting as well.
Yeah.
Horrendous. Even like Hendrix clearly got some. She is mailing it flat out.
Henderson's not.
Look, I won't hear this about Marty Henderson.
Mate, his scene in the car, his death scene, he is going for an Oscar.
He's going for it.
He's committed.
He's having a shocker though.
Oh, it's
He's
not
going for
good.
a Razzie, I think.
Yeah, like just
No, the only one who's decent is actually the daughter.
the young girl. She's especially when she's scared and upset. But the amount of time she has to, curl down behind a tree or something like that, and she's doing the like.
She actually delivers
but
enough there to say, well, look, with a better script.
I think she's been in some other stuff. She's actually got some other credits as well.
Yeah, she was in a Sandler film.
Ooh.
Oh yes.
By the way, side note: has anyone noticed that he's dropped his latest?
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyone?
You watched it yet?
Is Jennifer Aniston in it again?
Yeah.
Wow. They won't quit, will they? Come on.
Dear oh dear. The flip side to
Netflix.
the trailer, the flip side to the trailer park, where I said I liked it, where they seem to be wanting to go with it.
Yeah.
The place looks fucking huge. Okay, you know where I'm going with this, Adam. You can't fucking run a 3-minute K out of that joint. You got no fucking chance.
At one point, the chick runs and just inexplicably runs into the only fence around the joint and just stands there.
I did not see a fence for miles.
No, and then she finds one with razor wire on it.
Yeah.
Why is there razor wire on a fence around a caravan park?
But again, get back into your rhythm.
Yeah.
Start moving.
Yeah. You're not catching me.
Speaking of
Until
sizes-
kilometre 2, and you don't have it because you're carrying an axe.
And with a face mask on, you are breathing into plastic.
Yeah, too much CO2 coming back.
Yeah, you're gonna pass out before you get to 600 metres.
You're not getting decent filled lungs. I'm sucking in the big
Mate,
ones.
I'm no one's idea of
given
fear
her-
anymore, but the sheer fear of death, you're just going to keep putting in. The lactic acid's just going to have to wait.
Yeah, and she looking at her the daughter's the way she's dressed. Guaranteed she's wearing Chuck Taylors or something like that.
Yeah,
she's
but
got.
also
she's got
she
a good
hasn't been
start
outside
there.
for a while.
Yeah, true, but I think she's.
There's a lot of basement dwelling going on.
It was so big.
Chuck in a set of headphones though, and just sort of get into that rhythm and get moving.
Yeah, see, one of the things that I didn't like about the first one, I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but it just felt like that they had every angle covered. Every time someone would come up with something, the strangers would have that angle covered. In this one, it's ramped up to 11, mate. It's fucking turned up to 11 because
It's not angles, it's just bullshit.
it's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit, and the main characters are just not allowed to be resourceful. It's fucking annoying. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
There's just no. anytime they come up with an idea, it's immediately snuffed out.
Yeah.
It's just like, why are we here?
Yeah.
Why are we here? There's no cat and mouse here.
And they do, I do understand, they split the parties up, so you don't know if mum and dad are dead. So you're not breaking into 3-minute Ks because mum or dad might still be alive.
Well, I am. You fucking hate your family.
But yeah, so why do they split up initially? When the kids come back, that's the old people.
She just acts like a petulant bitch and then fucks off.
That's my very next dislike.
No, I'm talking about when the kids come back after
Henderson-
seeing the old people, and then the
Henderson's
adults
called-
go, let's separate.
Yeah, Henderson goes, you girls, back to the cabin. We'll go check out the bodies. Why?
Yeah, if the kids are serious, what are you looking at? You go back together
Yeah.
and call the police.
Say last-
Foreigners, police.
Yeah, say last chance.
Anything?
I'm calling the cops.
Yeah.
Is it you're legit? Yes, we're legit. Let's get in the car.
I trust
I'm calling the cops.
All of us, all 4 of us in the car, we're out of here and we're calling the police. we're not
Because
staying.
building off that, Henderson and Son spend fucking 15 minutes driving around the fucking park.
Yeah.
Like, if you all said together, let's get in the car and go, one of those idiots is sitting in the cabin going, oh shit, I thought they were coming back to the cabin. That didn't work.
The travelling set has been fooled by their common sense. God damn it!
They're on walkie-talkies, the trappers, they're part of the game.
The eagle has flown, the eagle has flown.
Yeah, Eagles flying the coop. Oh shit. No, you know what though?
Anyone in the truck? No? Oh, fuck. We've lost him.
The other problem with it too is, look, I don't know about you guys, we're all attached to our phones. I never go anywhere without mine being in my pocket.
The fact that all 4 of them left their phone in
So
the
we all
cabin to be
leave our phones
destroyed.
back at the cabin, they're all destroyed.
No fucking way.
Look,
that daughter going for her little angsty walk,
She
100% has the phone. 100%.
I like that Henderson took away the kids' phones and said, can we just have some family time? I'm a parent. I've taken away screens.
Yeah.
Mine's still in my pocket, so I can go next door.
I might need to go to the toilet and play some golf.
Yeah, give me that screen. Give me that screen. Time screen-free time for everyone. I'm going to the toilet.
Now leave me alone. I need half an hour. We're going to knock out a couple of links. Speaking of,
Figuratively and
I'm talking about golf. Speaking of the size of the joint, though, like you guys mentioned in the first one, because I've listened to your episode. Great work, guys. But you talk about how in the background you'll see these spooky, someone standing there and then they move off, that sort of stuff. They try to do this a couple of times when their kids are at the playground, they're having the smoke and then they walk off. There's a girl standing in the background, looks like a statue, and then she skitters off into the bush.
Yeah.
They do it a couple of times with the guy with the rag mask. But a lot of the time, there's these lingering shots after someone moves out of shot, and it just lingers and lingers and lingers, and nothing happens for like a solid 10 seconds, and then it just changes.
A lot.
It's like 20
So they're
times.
trying to sort of say, look, there might be someone back there.
Yeah, but there never is.
I know, it's fucking stupid.
Oh, I did my head
especially
in.
in an 85-minute film that you've turned into a slasher picture.
It was dead set an hour
You
movie.
don't do that shit. You just have a fucking...
Or have something happen back there.
And have half a dozen more characters to kill.
Yeah. 4 is not enough. Especially when you knock 2 off real quick.
Yeah.
So the pointless lingering shots were just brutally shit. We talked about the next thing I've got a problem with. When the girl's getting chased by the truck and she crawls into the tube, you can clearly see into that tube. If you've ever played hide and seek, if you're a small child, you look in there and go, no, well, not worth my time, they can see me.
Yeah.
She goes in there while the guy in the truck can see where she's
I
going.
was going to say, last time I checked, the car's windscreen was see-through.
Yeah, he's dead set fucking 15 metres away following her, and she crawls into the tube. He knows you're there.
Yeah.
It was so stupid.
Oh, God.
I'm getting angry again.
No,
Speaking of stupid choices, 5 seconds to leave and I start shooting.
What?
I'm not giving you 5 seconds.
No.
You've already displayed what you're here
I'm
to
not
do.
saying put the knife down either.
Yeah,
you just
I'm-
stabbed my sister. You get shot in the face.
Yeah, it's like so Henderson
Oh, you
does
took the guys out the
that.
front,
Henderson
sorry.
does that out the front, but then the kid does it too.
Yeah, and she's holding
You
the knife.
have a gun. She is stabbing
Yeah.
your sister.
You
Yeah.
have just seen both your parents killed
Brutally.
in front of you by these people.
Yeah.
Mate, it's fucking free for all. It's
Yeah.
game on.
At that point, you're not like, oh, I can't take a human life. My hand's getting all shaky.
There's no
you're just
chances.
pumping it full of them.
Shit.
There's no chances. And then it continues on by when he ties up her leg, he puts the gun down behind him, and they
Yeah.
make this big show of making a shot of him turning around
Yeah,
and
so it's
putting the
awkward.
gun on this desk. I'm like,
Why?
Put it in your fucking pocket or give it to her and say, just keep an eye out.
Cover us, yeah.
Oh, man.
Watch the door. Something.
They just kept on doing this. Like, I remember The Strangers got some heat for Liv Tyler making some really bad choices. This, it's not even a comparison. The characters in this one make even worse choices so many more times.
Constantly.
The chick especially, the sister says to him, give me the gun, I'll shoot her. And he doesn't let her.
Yeah.
If you don't have the balls for it, mate,
There's
go for it.
no reasoning.
Yeah.
Like, if he'd had a traumatic incident in the past and he couldn't do it, I would understand that. I would buy
No, I still
into
wouldn't.
it.
No,
But
I'd
I'm
be less
still
trying,
here
though.
and I'm happy to hold the gun. Give it to me.
The bigger problem for me was both Henderson and Hendricks just die with a whimper. They just fucking stand
Hendricks
there.
doesn't even put up a fight. She just looks up through the window while she's getting stabbed in the kidney. She's like, oh, sorry, this is going to happen, I guess.
And the same with Henderson. Unless I couldn't see right, I don't think his hands were trapped. He was trapped by his legs.
Yeah. No, because he starts trying to pull the log out as well. So,
yeah.
no, it wasn't his legs. He was impaled with a log.
As soon as that bloke gets into the seat next to me, I'm just going whack, fucking into him with everything I could throw.
Yeah, see, I think the log was actually through his abdomen. I don't think he could do much moving at all without
Do
excruciating.
something. Fucking throw an elbow.
At least it's
He knocks a bloke out.
A lazy backhander.
Or give it to me like the bloke in Dog Soldiers. Give him a bit of curry before you go, I give you that.
Fuck you,
Fucking
dickhead.
choke on it, you
Sausages.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Hendricks
was...
just dies, just stands there and dies.
Like, people getting stabbed, they have defensive wounds on their arms.
And I
She
know
gets
that you-
nothing.
She had that chick for weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you
The
go
other chick
at her,
was
you
a
grab
side.
hold of the wrist if you can. Maybe she gets one or two in, but at least you can fucking take it down with you.
Punches, mate, you're throwing elbows.
Yeah.
Pulling hair.
She just stands there and lets her stab her in the back.
Kicking balls.
I honestly thought the way that was happening, I thought, and again, this is before I realised how shit the movie was, I thought maybe Hendricks was going to come back later on as being in on the gag.
Yeah.
As in, she was, like, they were fake stabbing. I was thinking, like, screamy sort of
Yeah.
stuff. Maybe she was, I don't know. But again, I was like, something has got to be happening because this is too stupid. And it just turned out that's what it was. So,
Another thing to the stupid choices, why do they keep going back into cabins?
because they're protected in there, except that these people are
But they're
clearly
not.
psychic and they know where they are at
Because
all
they're
times.
fucking jamming you. Every time you go into a cabin, they know you're in there.
Or they go into a cabin and turn the light on and start
Yeah.
talking.
Or-
Maybe go into one where there's no lights, hide under a bed with your fucking and shut up.
Let me tell you something. The only conversation I'm having is, what are you running the 1600 at?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't need to be faster than them, I just need to be faster than you.
When's the last time you cracked out a 5k? You reckon you can handle it? Because I reckon we can get past the bloody lake. And,
What's your touch time on the track? Can you give me some information here?
But
Yeah.
even when you see one of the if you were doing a runner and you see one of the bad guys coming, like you hit him with a big left right and you're out of there.
Yeah.
Like, I'll give you a goosey and then just you're not catching me. If I get past you, it's
Now, I'm
over.
stepping one way, then pirouetting back.
yeah, look, there's only 3 of you. It's broken field. That's my specialty.
The old
mate.
John Madden spin move. You know, you give him the stiff arm and then you spin the other way. Mate, the defense has no answer for that.
I think, like, the issue with it for me is, like, for number one, you had to make this stupid choice to split up to get everyone to keep doing this. But then when people die and there's only 2 of you,
You don't say together.
we're fucking chancing our hand. I'm trusting my legs, so I'm going for it because they got they got to be split up. They got to be, you're failing as it is.
Yeah.
So do something different.
Yeah.
And they just never did. At least in that one, at least in the first one, Liv Tyler starts to run, and then she sees them. If I remember correctly, she sees them and gets
Falls over.
skittish, falls over, and limps back inside.
Yeah.
They didn't even try that in this one.
But Henny, isn't she running out into the woods? I heard you explaining this. Like,
Yeah.
if you see where all 3 of the attackers are and you're out
Yeah.
going out there, like, you just keep going.
Yeah, like I said, you're straight as an arrow and you're free. You're gone.
Yeah.
See you later.
And if you have to step and jink,
Yeah.
you have to step and jink.
You find you're in a Benji Marshall and away you go.
My other issue, the car accident. It's not happening. He fucking steams into that thing.
Yeah.
I can say from experience, I had an old car.
I think-
Well, I had an old
That's
car.
something.
Look, I had an old car. I was on the Tuggeranong Parkway at 90k, and one rock hit my window. But because it was such an old car, they didn't have the bloody film over it to stop
so it
everything.
cracked
The
up.
whole thing just went. Psh, the whole windscreen
Yeah.
just went like a fucking bullet. I managed to stop the car without hitting anything. He's going around.
What they throw at him, like a microwave or something?
It was nothing. It just fucking bounces off.
Yeah.
And he just goes, whoo! And he's off to the side, wham! Straight into the cabin.
Oh shit, I better veer this way, then accelerate.
Accelerate through to the cabin. See if I can't get impaled on one of these logs. Yeah, just nonsense.
Fucking shambles, come on. But yeah, it was just so... Given that this stuff just kept on happening and there kept being just a stretch for it to happen.
Yeah.
When he comes out and throws whatever it was at the windscreen and that causes the car to fucking veer off straight into the cabin, I was just like, get fucked.
Yeah.
This is just too far now. Too far.
Why also does the brother, he inexplicably gets down to the pool, right? He turns on all the lights right?
No, someone else does that.
Right. And the girl comes running out of the darkness and he flogs her good with a golf club. Why does he drop the golf club and pick up a knife when he's facing 2 seconds later a bloke with an axe?
With an axe, yeah.
You need room.
Yeah, you want
The
to
golf club is giving me some room.
He's got you with reach, yeah.
And let me tell you something, mate. I don't know too many people who've been hit in the head with a fucking driver who've got up.
Exactly.
So you
like
only get one good one on the sky.
It's like Bear Grylls, mate. You make distance. You make distance or you take distance. But if you can make it, you keep that.
Yeah. And then, secondly, inexplicably, they get into a wrestle in the pool. He fights the bloke off, then turns his back on him.
Yeah.
But swims away and then casually starts walking out of the pool as if the bloke's
You
dead.
don't even turn your back. You turn around and go, let's fucking run. Let's get it on, mate.
But there's not even any reason why he drops the knife at that point. They're in the water and old mate's just holding his wrist and then he just goes, oh, I guess I'm done with this. He drops the knife on the bottom of the pool.
Those things were so difficult to swallow. I mean, admittedly, we were 65 in by this stage.
Look, a couple of things like that you can cop. A couple of small ones. But every single time, it was just, everything just happened in the stranger's favour. Something just
Other than
happened
the golf club
for
to the
them
face.
to be
That was
in
the
the
only one.
right place. Well, that's the thing. Even when that shit happened, even when that shit started to happen, it was just like, it's too late. You've already fucking done your dash.
Yeah.
It's not earned. Like, it was just, everything was so easy for the strangers, and then it's like, boom, oh, fuck, there you go.
Well, like I said, that scene at the end where in the pool thing, when she runs at him, when she's got the mask on, he smashes her with the golf club, and then he starts bragging to the other guys, like, oh, I got one of yours, how's that feel? And I thought the guy was going to go and take the mask off and to be his sister. As soon as he starts going on about it's one of yours, that's clearly leading to what that's going to be.
I thought about that too, but then I thought that would have been a bit...
That would have been ridiculous, but it would no more less ridiculous.
Well, that's
than
the
what they'd
thing.
already given us.
They'd already butchered
Well, they did the
everything.
same thing in The Dark Knight, though, with they had the hostages with the clown masks on, and then all the other people with doctors.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Like, you just tape their mouth shut, and she's running in because she's panicked getting chased.
Given us a point of something else, so we would have gone, oh shit, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
These people are dickheads.
It was just, at that point, if that had happened on the back of everything else being the same, I still would have been angry.
Yeah.
Yeah, you try once.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I felt about the baseball thing at the end. Like, this is the one, like, thought-provoking thing you've done in the whole thing.
See, the finale side of it was so bad.
Oh.
That's where you suddenly go from, you say it's based on true events. What? My bloke's car can blow up, then he can run down. Get out of it whilst on fire.
Driving around like he was in the...
Yeah, it's Craig Baxley's life story.
It's the Grant Page life story because the bloke's on fire.
The only thing is he's such
a Jason Voorhees, but
Yeah.
he never exhibited any type of behaviour like that
No.
in any of the.
At what point did he become supernatural? Otherwise, like, even when she's about to throw the Zippo into the fuel, he's just staring at her like, yeah, fine, do it. Like, what is this guy just, like, mentally disabled? I don't understand what his whole gig is, because otherwise you're getting out of the car. You're trying to get away from getting burned alive.
Get out of the pit.
Hang on, come on, I think I got off the wrong foot. Please don't throw that Zippo. We've surrendered. The bells are ringing.
I see, like, going back, the couple of scenes before that, the cop, just fucking ridiculous. Like, the fact that the girl just comes out of nowhere and does him in.
She doesn't though. She walks right around.
She walks around the car.
The daughter would have definitely seen it.
And said, her behind you, giving him a chance to fucking pull his weapon or whatever. But, and this was one of my biggest fucking grievances of the whole thing, getting rammed by the other car. the lack of awareness from these characters is fucking unbelievable. The rest of the time, every other scene we see that car, it sounds like a fucking drag race is happening.
Yeah.
Like the engine's just going, brr, brr. But the one time, the car just seems to not make a sound and just fucking jams up behind her and crashes straight into her without her even becoming any sort of even becoming aware in the slightest.
Yeah. A little bit of a newsflash too. The car that rams from behind is generally the one that's going to have trouble starting.
Yeah.
The only thing that bloke hit was the tray of the truck.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's nothing at the back of that would have it. And then she's like, oh, it won't start. Why? Fuck. It would have made more sense if he reversed into her and damaged her engine bay. Yeah. Then the car doesn't start at least.
This might have been like the film in the last sort of 5 or 6 years that I've seen where the suspension of just disbelief, it was impossible. You just couldn't do it.
Well, honestly,
so many things.
Once he's on fire and you're like, oh, cool, he's finally dead, because this isn't a supernatural movie. Next minute, the truck starts backing up and the wheel turns, and you're like, really?
Yeah,
and then it's just, he's still following it, revving her. Like, if you're on fire, you're just going to run her over at that point. You're not going, I'm going to scare this girl while I'm the human torch.
That's the thing I didn't understand.
Oh, I'm starting up and going, I'm driving into the lake, I'm fucking still on fire.
Something else. But why isn't it? Like, she's on the road. She's running down the road like an absolute idiot instead of jinking off past trees and buildings and stuff.
Instead of bringing out the goosey.
Can you see me? I'm down the middle of the road. But he just follows her revving.
But yeah, it's just another thing she didn't do right. Head wobble or fucking anything. Turn him off course a bit.
I love when she sees the bridge though and she's like, that's my way out. Why is it? It's just a road where you can't go anywhere.
It's the one place he can still go there.
Get into the lake, you idiot. Just go off track.
Anywhere but the road, anywhere but the bridge. But then she gets out there, he gets out, and he's clearly like a human torch, falls down on his knees.
But that was the bit I didn't get. At no point have they showcased that these characters were grounded in reality, as far as I could tell.
Based on true events, Adam.
Exactly, reality. And then suddenly Jason's voice is running around out there.
Because he finally gets out of the truck, he's dead, right? You're like, finally, okay, he's dead, that's it. She goes out and she flags down this lady. Next minute, old mate comes out doing your 3-minute mile. He just jumps in the back of a moving vehicle. What the fuck?
So he did have the skins on after all.
They were bird dogs.
He had his skins on till he degloved.
So actually, that's why us out of the water. We might have to go 2:30.
2:30. I reckon I could go there once. If the adrenaline's pumping, I'll go to 2:30.
I am not going to 2:30. I can tell you.
If the hammy and the ankles hold out.
Your ankles have never held out, Jared.
2:30's marathon pace. There's no fucking way. I'm going to
Look, I'd start cracking it out, and then 100 in. Oh, the ligaments are fucked. They're gone again.
My glass ankles.
But you know what? By that stage, I'm in a thick area of woods and he can't drive his car into.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's all it would have taken. But then, like, as if they haven't insulted us enough, you get to the hospital scene. The kids, the brothers, like, she's obviously just abandoned him with these strangers and gone to town and then sent an ambulance back to pick him up, I guess, because she left him in the pool shed. I thought she just left him for dead, to be honest. Then he just turns up at the hospital. But then you get the stupid sound effects in the hallway and the knock on the door. Yeah. As if, like, who's that? Is it the burn victim dude? Or
no, it's just a doctor coming to check how things are going in there.
Are you alright in there?
I just heard this cool song. You like it? No, mate.
I think that is just the worst of all Stinger endings. It's like, as you said, I think whoever came up with that one just didn't give a fuck at that point.
But I nearly drove over to Maddie's house and knocked on the door and ruined his whole evening. I'm telling you, if he didn't have a little boy, I was there. Dragged him out on the lawn. I was so mad at the end of this movie.
But yeah, that Stinger is just the laziest type. Like, everyone's been killed pretty comfortably. Okay, there's a couple that we haven't confirmed that, but I'm pretty sure the shotgun one was gone, and the chick that got fucking whacked in the head with a driver and then stabbed is in some shit. She's not getting up and knocking on your door for a couple of weeks at least.
Mate, her head's gone 200 to 220.
He might have a slight slice, but he's still way down range.
But he has sliced the absolute bejesus out of it, but that head's gone.
Yeah, so just to say, What do we do here for a scare? Oh, we'll just knock on the door and leave it vague.
But the knock on the door could have been vague. The music before it, or whatever the sound effect was before it, that's leaving you under no illusion that it's definitely...
Was it the Jack in the Box? I can't remember.
It was something like that. It was like a toy music, and then the knocking. If it was just a knocker, it could just be the doctor.
Good God.
Yeah, that was just...
Why they thought another sequel would be a good idea anyway.
Tell me they've greenlit the third one.
Oh, they haven't. No, I don't think so.
Surely not.
Maybe it'll be like the Saw series, where they fix up all the shit that they did.
Yeah, they'll get back and retroactively fix
There's
it.
a lot of shit to fix up, I'd say.
Oh,
It was such a disappointment.
Any other dislikes, Ed?
No,
there's heaps, but I don't need to keep going.
I've exhausted mine. I was so frustrated by them.
So that's the
I don't wanna
Stranger
revisit.
series now fully covered. Let's hope that never ever happens again where one of us watches the wrong film. Although, we've done 180 episodes and it's only the first time it's happened. So
No, I did it once before and then
Yeah, but you realised your mistake before you got here.
Yeah. Sorry guys, I'm out. I've watched the wrong movie and I'm not going to do the right one. If it's more of that, I'm out.
Oh, poor
Alright.
Matty. He wasn't going to suffer on his own.
No.
Bastard.
He was surprisingly quiet during the Stranger series. Alright, you can find us on Podomatic, iTunes and Spotify. Send us an email at thrillme@iinet.net.au. We're on Facebook, Thrill Me Podcast Australia, Podomatic at thrillme.podomatic.com, and Instagram at thrillmepodcastau. Keep an eye on the Facebook page for more details of our next episode. But until then, take it easy, and we'll catch up with everyone later. Cheers.
Find the podcast at Podomatic or on iTunes. Don't forget to rate and review. Like us on Facebook at Thrill Me Podcast Australia, or contact us at thrillme, all one word, all lowercase, at iinet.net.au.